Without doubt, one of the most difficult things to do as an actor is to network. There's nothing more terrifying than being an actor out of work, looking for work, and looking to create a network to get you into work. Because you come empty-handed, don't you? You are out of work. And work givers are in work, able to give you work, but there's that horrible divide between where you are at and where they are at, and it feels like you're at the bottom of the mountain and they're right at the top of it. So the things to do are these. To speak to them as if they are human beings, because we all have that colloquial side to our lives. We all like to chat. We all like to get to know people as human beings. And then there's the professional side of it, the corporate side of it. It's the job that they do. So they are firstly person, and secondly casting director, director, agent, whatever it is that they do in the business. So never forget the humanity side of things. Probably one of the biggest mistakes you can make is confronting an agent, a casting director, a director, a work giver of any sort with a neediness. Coming empty-handed to that conversation and just expecting things to give, expecting opportunities to arrive. You need to think of this exchange as a trade, if you like, of two human souls. So what can you give in return? So, for example, if I was approaching a casting director as a young actor now, I might have just graduated from drama school, conservatoire, university, undergraduate programme. I might be early career, but a few jobs down the line, and now suddenly there's an impasse. I haven't got work. What can I do? What can I do to get into the orbit of casting directors? Well, I could find out where they hang out. They hang out in the centre of London often, so you need to find out where precisely. They also have fixed premises very often, so you could ask if it's possible to go and see them. Have a chat, tell them what you want to achieve with your career, having really, really clear goals about that, of course. You could offer to go in and do something for free. You might be able to read in if they're doing an audition, for example, and in that case, that's a really powerful thing to do, because then they would get an opportunity to hear you reading, perhaps for a whole day or a suite of days back to back. That's a really great way of getting started. Or you could send them a little teaser, a taster of what you can do. We're going on to talk about self-tape. We're going on to talk about audio capture. Those sorts of things just dropped in to an email can really bring you off the page. They bring you to life in a way that just a simple conversation probably can't. Things not to do are these: to stalk, to harass, to pursue. Once it's a no, and we have to just be kind and generous enough to understand that that's a professional mark that's been drawn. A line has gone down and we don't cross that again. So if it's a no, it's a no. If you happen to be face to face with a work giver, casting director, a director, an agent, then you don't want to be wittering away. You don't want to bore them with tangential stories about your life, people that they've never heard of, don't care about. You also don't want to waste their time. You want that moment with them to be absolutely critical. So don't say things out of nerves or ill-preparedness. Make sure you know what your agenda is going to be when you have that 5-minute window of time with someone who could really possibly change your life. If you've been out of work as an actor for a long time, your confidence will be at a really low ebb. Something you might consider is going to work for an agent or a casting director for a short amount of time. Just to see how the business works and to understand what trends are coming up. Casting directors have lots and lots of information about commissioning trends, for example, about what's coming on in theatre, television and film platforms. These things are really important for you to know, because if you were, for example, making work, you could make it and bend it towards one of those particular pieces of commissioning agenda. Wouldn't that be useful? So not only are you getting money, you're spending time at the knee of a master, and also you're building a network just by situating yourself in that environment. People of importance will be coming through that door, emailing, phoning up, and you will have an opportunity to speak to them. It's better than being out of work. So there are some proactive things that you can do to improve your networking skills. I suggest at the end of every television broadcast or film or every theatre production that you see that you've been impressed by, you find out who those creatives are and you write and you explain why it really touched you as a member of the audience. As head of acting in a drama conservatoire, I had a student who was phenomenally good at portrait painting, almost photorealistically good. And the particular casting director that was coming in to work with my MA students at that time had overlooked her. And I wanted that student to be seen by this casting director. So I suggested to the student that they painted a picture of the casting director's daughter. And it was extraordinary. It was wonderful. Not only did that casting director work with that student, giving them their first job in television, but that student went on to play an artist in that particular piece of television. So you never know what talents and skills you might have that might tally up with the needs of a casting director. Even if you only reach out to them on a personal level, sometimes it can anchor them in and it can create a relationship. And relationships are what this business runs on. So never stalk, harass or hunt down people, because it's unprofessional, it's dangerous and it's a bit weird. But you can do this professionally. You can do it through contacts. You can do it through various professional platforms. Never overstep the mark. There is a very clear dividing line between the corporate and the colloquial, between the professional and the personal. Until you are invited to become personal, keep it professional. Get yourself a business card. There's nothing worse than meeting someone, a chance encounter on Shaftesbury Avenue, let's say, and they're interested in you, you engage, you have a conversation, they're a potential work giver, but you have no business card. Carry one with you at all times and be prepared to give it over. If someone gives you theirs, hotly pursue that. As soon as you get home, email or give them a ring. Chase that email in a couple of days' time with a telephone call, because that calling card is an invitation for you to make a connection. Make the connection. We'd like to hear in this community about your networking opportunities. If you've met a casting director, a director, an agent, and it hasn't gone well, feedback. We'd like to help you to improve your interactions. But if it's gone really well and there's a win to share, we'd love to hear about it. That's what this community is all about.